Who's to know what happens when the world ends? At least this is an okay bar for running into you. It's an awful house, and I wanted to get you out. I'm working on a plan right now to come through.
Wait.
I've waited for a lifetime for you to calm down. Oh, nothing feels the same without you now. I've waited for a lifetime for you to calm down. 'Cause nothing feels the same without you now. What's the point in dreaming if I lose my voice the second I get caught by you? I wanted you to know that some days I can't get out of my bed. Some days I'm waking up on the wrong side of my head, and I got all these eyes on me, staring at me from my screen. Most nights I just can't wait. So tired from my thoughts that keep on swirling around. Medication used to help me breathe. Now it feels like it's abusing me. 'Cause all of my thoughts take the air out of me, and I can't disagree with the lies that I think you believe. There's a way to explore my I've been around, but I can't get you out of my head. Try to stray, try to forget, but the thoughts they seem to drown me instead. I've always
Oh, you do?
wondered what it takes to fill this empty void inside. But now I realized you were what I needed this whole time. I've been around, no one else has got me feeling this way. Every minute. Every hour I spend is on you every single day. I've always wondered what it takes to fill this empty void inside. Something about you makes me wanna be with you for a long time. So lovely, thanks, so lovely. Our day we just so lovely.
I chose to do was because that was the exam I took.
You mess with me, boy. You are the cause of all my stress. You've been ignoring all my texts. It's getting harder to avoid that funny feeling in my chest. Can't help but wonder what's coming next. And I've been staying up and getting all worked up, yeah, until sunrise. Thinking about all the times you've got it in my mind and all of your signs.
Do they make it obvious if it's peer reviewed? Do they make it obvious if it's peer reviewed?
Yeah. You can, on the side there should be, yeah. Oh, what? Why did lockdown run so bad? What? Right as the light brighter. Look.
Do you have like get traffic and you have
The biggest con for me is like I'm not doing my job. Like,
everything We have the same. You have enough same pads with none. No, keep the one that they gave us. The one
Tell me honestly, what do you want us to be? No more fronting, 'cause that's gonna lead to nothing. Ooh, and I don't know what to do. My message isn't getting through. 1 minute you're gone, I'll never keep track. Yes, that's all I can't know. I don't know why. You got me feeling blue.
Get you out of my head, and all the time that we spent. I know I can never be with you. What's good?
What's good, what's good, what's good? I've been thinking that we feel the same. Like this one girl got me falling with feelings I can't explain. Got me dancing, kinda wish I knew her feelings too. Do I mention about this question?
Physical education, architecture, nutrition, criminal justice.
Good evening.
Makes my ear swollen. Like it hurts.
There's so many typos.
Oh,
No, like two.
Too bad to beat it too bad to beat it too do 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 do